Hi, I'm Felicity of Broken Drum Creative. I just wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how to tighten your drum. I'm sure there's many ways, but this way, if you've made yourself a drum and you're finding that you can't play it, sometimes our drums are so finicky because of the weather. If you live in a moist climate and you didn't string your drum tight enough, then you won't get to play it very often without hair drying it or something to tighten it up. So this is just a quick tutorial on how I tightened up my drum, and you kind of got a little fancy. I hope that it's easy for you to follow and that it helps with your drum.
Before you decide to tighten your drum up, here are a few things you may want to consider. If your house is humid, the drum you have may always be boggy. If you get a dehumidifier, this may help. If you live in a humid environment, such as by the ocean, and your drum is boggy all the time, then tightening it up would be a great idea. However, remember, if it gets sunny, it's going to play high pitcher. If you do tighten your drum up and the humidity dries up, your drum will become a higher pitch, so make sure it's not just a few humid days before you panic and tighten your drum. Your drum has its own beautiful voice, and it will not always play the way you want, so being patient is important, and sometimes this means waiting for the weather to change and be ideal for your drum to sing. So there's a few items that you could use to tighten up your drum, such as twine, parachute cord, macrame cord, yarn, etc. You could even use rawhide lacing if you have a lot of extra. Just make sure that you soak that for the 3 to 4 hours needed to soften it up good. If your yarn or anything that you use is too thin, it's going to take you much longer to wrap it up and tighten it up. So the thicker the yarn or cording, the quicker it's going to be for you. So as you can hear, this is kind of flat. So to pitch it up a little bit in our ideal weather conditions, especially if you have a lot of moisture in your air all the time, then it would be great to have a tighter drum. If you have a very dry climate, then a looser drum is better. So here I'm just moistening up a towel in lukewarm water, and we're going to use this to wrap around the drum. So it doesn't have to be saturated, but quite damp is good, and sometimes you can use 2 towels as well. So here, I'm just going to make sure that you have a table that's not going to get wrecked, or put it in a Tupperware so that you don't wreck your wooden table or anything with the moisture. So here I'm laying the towel flat on the table, and then we're going to take your drum and we're going to lay it face down on the towel and wrap the towel around the drum, pressing it up against the edges. And I could have definitely used a bigger towel. This one is way too small. You could also wrap another towel or over top of this one too. After you've wrapped your towel around your drum, just gently push the towel over top of each lacing that you have. This should ensure that each lacing also gets the moisture in it needed. And then you'll let your drum sit for a few hours to soften, depending on the thickness of your hide. Now it's time to unwrap your drum. Give it a couple pushes. If you feel it's still too hard, wrap it back up and leave it for another few hours. Otherwise, proceed with the next step. So you want to stretch out about 4 feet of your cording or whatever it is that you're using. You might need less for the next few steps. Now you're going to start by taking the end and tying it off, making sure that you leave about 2 to 3 inches so that you can tie it off when you're done this section. We're going to start wrapping this around the bottom section, going up to where the lacing joins. So we're going to wrap it not too tight, but just snug and keep going round and round. And whichever direction, if you're left-handed, right-handed, it doesn't matter. So you can turn the drum to the left or the right. But you're going to wrap up to where the points meet, always keeping in mind good intentions and prayers for Mother Nature and the deer that sacrificed itself to give us the gift of the drum and the healing of the drum. So now we're going to tighten up your drum. You've reached that intersection of the three sections of lacing there. We're going to weave through each section from left to right, depending on where you ended with your string or lacing last. As you're weaving, you don't want to pull it too tight. If you start pulling too tight, you're going to tighten your drum up too much. So just do a gentle tugs. As we're going through all four sections, each section will tighten up nicely. And if you want your drum tighter, you can make the weaves up higher and higher. On this drum, I've probably gone up on this one about 4 layers, and I think that's pretty good. I'm going to try and tie off this section now. It's kind of awkward getting my hands in there because it's a bit of a smaller drum, but you're just going to bring it around, hold the string or lacing down so that you can tuck the end of your string under, and then you're going to try and pull it through just so that it ties itself off, and you're going to pull it up underneath the handle and give it a bit of a tug so it stays tied. Again, when you've brought your string or your lacing under, then pull it back towards the handle to tighten. Then bring enough under to leave about a 3-inch tail to tie off. And now to do the opposite side. You can take about the same amount of twine or lacing that you used before. You can gauge that whether you need it more or less. I'll play some music while you work through this. So I might have said this a bit earlier. If you do need a break for a bit, wrap your drum back up with a towel and it should stay moist. If you're going to be a few hours, re-soak the towel and come on back when you're ready.
O Great Spirit, help me always to speak the truth quietly, to listen with an open mind when others speak, and to remember the peace that may be found in silence. Cherish this prayer. Just pray with me now.
Now there you have it. You're tying off the rest of your handle, and you're going to have some left over. If you don't have enough left over, you can just wrap it around and around until you have a handle that's the size you want it. And there you have it. When you're done, you can let your drum dry again for a couple days, and it should be ready to play. There you have it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at www.brokendrumcreative.com or on Facebook at Broken Drum Creative. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial, and I hope that it's helpful for you.